Good morning, everyone. I'm Terry. Happy energy reading. How's your heart today? How is your heart? I hope your heart is wonderful. I really hope that your heart is fabulous and wonderful. My heart is full of anxiety. Oh boy, I've been waking up every morning this week anxious, which is actually interesting because I have really gotten a good grip on my anxiety, but this week I've been waking up anxious. So there is a message in that for me to investigate and for me to do a little bit of a deep dive in, yes, to find out what's going on, right? So we have a weekend energy reading right now going on. Yeah, we've already started it. I'm yapping away and we've started it. So when I started talking to Team Terry and asking them to give me some guidance for the collective here, I just also, before I go into that, I just want to remind you that this is a general reading for the collective. So not all of this is going to resonate with you. So just take what does, toss what doesn't. If it doesn't resonate with you, do not take this message. You still have your God-given gift of free will and choice. Just because a psychic or a medium or a healer tells you something, it doesn't mean it's right and for you, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's true, because we're human and we are interpreting and we are translating, and so we are not perfect, contrary to, of course, what I believe. And I'm a Leo, of course not perfect. What? Any hoodles. Just take whatever you can from this. And Team Terry this morning was talking about travel. And I personally love traveling. That is how I learn. That is how I experience. I'm an experiential learner. I don't do well when I just read books or I just listen to audio. I have to read, I have to hear, and I have to experience, because I'm just very feely. I wish I was more articulate with my words, but I'm not. It's all emotion. So that is how I learn, by experience, by doing things, right? So when I'm being told travel, I'm trying to understand how in, this day and age, with the ascension process, with our upgrading, with our conscious awareness into other dimensions and realities that's starting to happen, how does this fit in with travel when my physical body is literally just sitting here in front of y'all in Los Angeles, California? But it is about a state of consciousness and awareness, and that's what's going on. And it's interesting, as I'm telling you this, I'm starting to process information for me personally in regards to my anxiety. So as we are all going to us 2.0, we are actually traveling. Now, time is a consciousness, and in the way our world views us in third dimension is in linear moment, right? So we need to go from here to here, which is a consciousness, and then from here to here, which is a consciousness, and then from here to here, which is a consciousness. So we're very aware of where we are in each moment. And our consciousness and our awareness is just changing and shifting from this 3D perception more to, as we're traveling through the fourth dimension, which is all about time, and then the fifth dimension, which is where there's no time and there's no space, right? So for us to be traveling, it's really super uncomfortable. And physically, we're here, we're density, we're matter, we're stuck, if you want to just say. I don't know that I want to use the word stuck, because that's actually not, I don't think that's a very kind way of describing us humans. So I'm going to take that back, and I apologize for saying that about us, but we are in this place of density where we're very attached to the emotions of this reality, or our own personal realities, and how the world sees itself. We're all in agreement. Every human being here on planet Earth is in agreement that this is the way time moves, linear, like this. So we are all shifting, evolving, and changing. We're ascending. We're going to us 2.0 through our conscious awareness. It's painful, it's uncertain, and it's scary as fuck. And so as we're moving from this place of third and fourth dimension to fifth dimension, where there is no time and therefore there's no space between things, we're in that space and place where we can just manifest the things that we want, boom, because there's no linearness, there's no linearity. Does that make sense? It's just everything is right here, right now, all here. There's no duality, which is what we live in. There's no polarity, which is what we live in. So this weekend, there's going to be some sort of consciousness or awareness that we are experiencing, which is super, super uncomfortable. And I think now, as I'm telling you this, that's what's going on as an indicator for me personally with my anxiety is like, Terry, you have no idea what's going to happen. You know, I'm personally taking care of some loose ends in terms of friendships and, healing my heart and all of that. And that's scary. And that's a movement. That's a travel from one conscious state to another conscious state through awareness. And that's scary because I have no idea what it's going to look like or what it's going to play out. I personally like to know what the fuck is happening, as I'm sure most of you do too. So, this weekend we are going to be having some sort of travel. If you want to call it mind travel, you can call it mind travel. For those of you who are super aware, who are more energy than matter, this could be that you are just astral projecting all over the place, which if that's the case, I envy you because you get to free travel the world. Like, take me with you. But for those of us who can't just go bing and just like leave our bodies that quickly, or who need to do it more with effort like me, it's typically through meditation. But I need to schedule a trip to the void, I'll tell you that much. I haven't been there in like almost a month and my body feels it. So it's this not balance, but it's not even integration. I don't have a word for it. It's because I sense this and I feel this, but it's almost like a recalibration as we're shifting and moving. Now, here's the thing, you guys. The pandemic was like the big boom, right? The big push for this to happen. It started actually happening around 2010, 2012, but like this big, like, dispersion of this buildup of energy was, the pandemic. And there's this feeling or thought that it's going to end. And when it's over, things will go back to the way they were, but they're not going to. And this is like a 10-year process. So it's like from 2020 to 2030 is when we are going to be traveling and shifting consciousness. Some of us just are doing it, sooner or later. There's just different paces at which it's going, yeah. But it's really uncomfortable. And so this weekend, I really do feel that we're going to be having different states and consciousnesses of awareness. And that I'm just going to pick out some cards so that we can see what kind of implementation tools we can use to kind of help us through this weekend. Because I think what's happening, I feel like we're going to have some sort of an energetic upgrade shift this weekend. That's what I feel like is happening. Now, astrologically, I can't remember exactly what goes on. Now, I'm not a professional astrologer, but I am a professional energist. I feel into the energy. And something is definitely a brewing from some of the things that I've read. And again, I just briefly glance at things. I don't study astrology. So if you want the exact astrology, like check out some really cool astrologers on the Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But May 28th to June 2nd, 3rd, it could be really tough. There's some tough stuff going on, some astro weather. So let's look and see. I just pulled 4 cards for us. Let's look and see what implementation tools we can use for this weekend. So the reveal says Ace of Hearts. Awesome. this is the beginning of opening up your heart in a very different way. A very different way. So this is a shift. This is a different perception. So yes, this is a different consciousness, a different movement, a travel into a new thought process, a new way of being. We have El Sol, which was upside down. I don't go by upside down cards personally, and I don't even necessarily go by the exact cards. I'm rogue. I just channel what the card is meaning at the moment. So this is about our identity. In astrology, the sun, the planet of the sun, does represent identity. So we are going to be learning how to become new people this weekend. Manifestation, I mentioned manifestation earlier. The more we settle into this consciousness, the more we give ourselves permission to lean into the discomfort and the uncertainty of this process, we're going to close that gap between space and time. And as I was telling you earlier, third dimension, it takes a while because there's time and there's space. So if manifestation is happening, that means a lot of our energy shifting will be working this weekend, okay? And temptation. Okay, so this is about distraction. Try not to get distracted this weekend. Try to really, if you're going to focus on something this weekend, focus on one thing, do it really good. This way you will, this process of moving in this uncomfortableness of uncertainty will actually give you something to hold on to. So don't be tempted to just go all over the place and do all the things, even though, you know, it's something that you'll be tempted to do. Take one thing and commit to it this weekend. That is what's going to help you bring yourself collected your energy, putting your focus onto one thing. Maybe it's exercise, maybe it's diet, maybe it's building your business, maybe it's building a friendship, whatever it is. Just really focus on it this weekend. Do it and do it really good. That's going to help you and me and all of us on a collective level just kind of get our shit together as we are moving through this consciousness and as we are upgrading. So this weekend, that's what we should really be doing. All right, guys, what am I always saying to you? Stay connected. Stay connected to your friends and family. Stay connected to yourself. And of course, you can stay connected to me. You can check me out at terryhuberman.com, and I'll see ya on the flip side.